Most people would simply walk past this cardboard tube without giving it a second thought. But I saw the potential to turn it into something useful. Today, I'm going to transform it into a TV antenna and see if it actually works. I'll use this cardboard tube as the main support for the antenna. First, I place a spice jar next to the tube to determine the desired height. Then use a marker to draw a line around the tube as a cutting guide. This helps ensure the tube is cut to the correct length with a clean, even edge. Next, I use a saw to cut along the marked line, creating the antenna support. Let me know where you are watching this video from. Don't forget to comment the country you are currently living in down below. I'm really curious to see which parts of the world my videos are being watched from. After that, I wrap a layer of aluminum foil around the top of the tube. To keep the foil securely in place during assembly, I tighten it with a zip tie. I use an old CD as the antenna's reflector dish. In the next step, I cover both sides of the CD with aluminum foil tape. This creates a continuous metallic surface that helps reflect radio waves more efficiently. After finishing one side, I cover the other side of the CD with aluminum foil tape as well. Then, I cut away the tape covering the center hole so it can be used to mount the remaining components. Next, I wrap a piece of copper wire around the edge of the CD. This copper loop acts as the antenna's receiving element, capturing electromagnetic waves and transferring the signal to the receiver through the connected cable. In the next step, I drill 2 holes in each CD to prepare for assembly. These holes will be used to secure the CDs to the antenna frame. Next, I repurpose the wooden handle of a paintbrush as the central support that holds all the components together. I drill 2 holes through the wooden handle. These holes will be used to install bolts for mounting the 2 CDs on opposite sides. After that, I apply hot glue and firmly attach the wooden handle inside the cardboard tube, creating a sturdy frame that won't shift during use. Next, I use 2 bolts as mounting supports to connect the CDs to the antenna's main structure. I install the bolts in a staggered arrangement to provide proper spacing between the 2 reflector discs. I attach the CDs to the bolts and tighten them with nuts, ensuring the entire structure is securely assembled and remains stable. In the next step, I install 2 additional bolts into the remaining holes on the CDs. These bolts serve as connection points between the reflector discs and the antenna's wiring. These bolts serve as connection points between the reflector discs and the antenna's receiving element. Next, I use a wooden board as the base so the antenna can stand firmly during use. I apply hot glue to the base and securely attach the antenna support, creating a stable and sturdy structure. After that, I prepare 2 short pieces of electrical wire to act as the signal connections. I use a wire stripper to remove a short section of insulation from the end of the wire, exposing the metal conductor inside. To make the antenna easier to connect, I repurpose a power plug as the connector. First, I disassemble the plug and attach 1 wire to each of its 2 metal prongs. Then, I connect each wire to one of its 2 metal prongs inside. Once the wiring is complete, I reassemble the plug. I twist the other ends of the two wires around the bolts attached to the two CDs. These wires provide the electrical path that carries the received signal from the antenna elements to the connector, making it quick and convenient to connect the antenna to external equipment. Next, I attach two copper springs to the bolts mounted on the CDs and secure them with nuts. These copper springs act as the antenna's receiving elements. Thanks to copper's excellent conductivity and the spring's coiled shape, they provide a larger effective surface for capturing electromagnetic waves and transferring the received signal through the antenna's wiring. At this point, all the components of the antenna have been fully assembled. Next, I'll use a length of coaxial cable to connect the antenna to the TV. First, I strip away the insulation at the end of the cable to expose the inner conductor. This prepares the cable for the connector and ensures a reliable electrical connection for signal transmission. Then, I attach a TV connector to the cable. This connector allows the cable to plug directly into the TV's antenna input, making installation quick and convenient. Next, I wrap the connection with electrical tape to secure it firmly and protect the exposed contact from loosening or short circuits. I repeat the same process on the other end of the cable to create a second connection. This time, I use a female plug as the intermediate connector. First, I disassemble the female plug. Then connect the cable wires to its two metal terminals and tighten them securely to ensure good electrical contact. Once the wiring is complete, I reassemble the plug. The female plug serves as a convenient connector between the antenna and the signal cable, making it much easier to connect or disconnect the system whenever needed. Finally, I plugged the antenna into the female connector on the signal cable. Now, I'm going to test it in real-world conditions to see how effective it really is. First, I'll switch to a TV channel to check the signal reception without connecting the antenna. As you can see, without the antenna connected, the TV only displays the message, no signal. Next, I'll connect the DIY antenna to the signal input on the back of the TV for the actual test. And here is the result. Almost immediately after connecting the antenna, the TV channels begin to appear. The picture is clear, the colors remain stable, and there are no continuous signal interruptions. To make the test more convincing, I'll perform one more experiment. I disconnect the antenna from the TV and observe the signal changes. As soon as the antenna is unplugged, the screen instantly returns to the no signal message. All channels disappear, confirming that the signal truly came from this homemade antenna. Now, I'll reconnect the antenna once again. As you can see, within just a few seconds, the channels reappear and continue working normally. If you enjoyed this project or found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Your support motivates me to continue creating more repair, recycling, and DIY projects in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.